ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासम् शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मेधा देवी जुषमाणा न आगाद्विश्वाची भद्रा सुमनस्य माना त्वया जुष्टानुदमाना दुरुक्तान् बृहद्वदेम विदधे सुवीराः त्वया जुष्ट ऋषिर्भवति देवी त्वया ब्रह्मा गतः श्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वत्र विनो न मेधे मेधां महीन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना वुभावा धत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सरासु च या मेधा गन्धर्वेषु च यन्मनः दैवीं मेधा सरस्वती सा मां मेधा सुरभिर्जुषत स्वाहा आमा मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगति जगम्या ऊर्जस्वती पयसा बिन्वमाना सा मां मेधा सुप्रतीकाजुषन्ताम् मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मय्यग्निस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयीन्द्र इन्द्रियं दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ Ganeshaya Namaha. Saraswatyai Namaha. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantih Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sri Sai Ram. Loving pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Lord, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Varu. It is indeed a great blessing and a unique privilege for me to invite you all to this divine satsang being organized by Sri Sathya Sai Samyukta Shruti Shreni of Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization under the lecture series Gama, ãgama. Today we have with us for this 31st episode under this lecture series focused on the theme the Vedas, the very foundation of Indian culture and spirituality, a very pious, noble and ardent devotee of Bhagwan, Sri Siddharth Kasthurirangan. Few words about this devout speaker. With Swami's divine blessings, Sri Siddharth has been associated with the Bal Vikas in Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization since the age of 4. He entered the organization through Pre Seva Dal and remained associated serving in Medical Seva, Slum Bal Vikas, Narayan Seva, Bhajans, etc. He has been teaching Veda for 8 years. He served as District Veda coordinator for Mumbai from 2018 to 2022. And since then, he has been serving as the state spiritual coordinator for the Mumbai Region. He also conducted and practiced in various Veda training courses and activities of Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization. He is actively engaged in Sri Sathya Sai Samyukta Shruti Shreni online Veda program of Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization as a member of the content development. On the professional front, He is an assistant professor at the Department of Physics, University of Mumbai, and a researcher in the field of atomic physics and atomic astrophysics. Thus, his association with both the worlds of spirituality and academics at such a young age is a unique blessing. Today, he has generously agreed to share his rich knowledge, which he has earned by his devout and dedicated services at Bhagwan, on the topic Omkara, which is the divine mantra given to us by Bhagwan. Sai Ram, over to Sri Siddharth Kasthurirangan. Jai Sai Ram.
श्रुतं मे गोपाय
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most prayerful salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Divine Lord and Master, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. It is indeed a singular privilege and honor for me to be addressing this august gathering from this platform of the Gama ãgama series, which is an initiative of Sri Sathya Sai Samyukta Shruti Shreni and Sri Sathya Sai Veda Poshana Mission. While listening to all the previous speakers speaking on different aspects of the Vedas, which is the root of our Sanatana Bharatiya culture and spirituality, it is very overwhelming for me as an individual because so many very wonderful facets of Veda have been already spoken about. And therefore, I felt that best which can be done for today's discussion is that we will go down to the very basic and have a look at Omkara. Bhagwan Baba has given us this prescription for daily sadhana, which includes Omkaram, Suprabhatam, Ashtotara Namavali and Jyoti Sadhana, Jyoti meditation. And foremost among this, the starting point is the Omkara. Bhagwan has laid a lot of emphasis on the Omkara, and we will be, in today's discussion, we will be looking into some aspects of this. When we look at what is Omkara, there is a very nice passage from the Taittiriya Upanishad Shikshavalli, which is as follows. Omiti Brahma, Omiti Idagam Sarvam, Omityetadανukruti hasmava apyo shravayetya-shrawayanti, Omiti Sabani gayanti, Ogum shomiti shastrani shagum santi, ओमित्यध्वर्युः प्रतिकरं प्रतिगृणाति ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मणः प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानीति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति. This passage, it is called Omkara Prashansa. It is almost like a hymn in praise of Omkara. And what is said is very simple, at the same time very profound. Om iti Brahma, Om iti idam sarvam. Omkara is only the form of God. The formless existence of God is Omkara. The cosmic vibration which spreads to the entire universe, that is Omkara. Om iti idam sarvam. Omkara is only all this which has manifested in the form of the world. That is also Omkara. And it goes on describing Om is the basis of Samagana. Om is the basis for the various ritual practices which are there, as well as for the underlying spiritual meaning. Finally, it says, Om iti brahmana pravakshan aha brahma upapnavan iti brahma eva upapnoti. Meaning that if a brahmana, here the word brahmana should be taken in a broader context, means any spiritual sadhaka, any spiritual aspirant. When the sadhaka prays using the Omkara and takes a resolution that, yes, it is my objective to go and merge with God, go and merge with Parabrahman, then most definitely by the power of Omkara, that sadhaka will be able to achieve this. That is the purport. So this is the very powerful outcome when we pray simply by chanting the Omkara. As it is said in the Purusha Suktam that Nanyaf Pantha Ayanaya Vidyate, that is no other path other than this, means the spiritual path, that is the only path to reach and merge with the divine. The Omkara is one of the ways in which this can be achieved. Bhagwan Baba has given us this Moola Mantra of 21 Omkaras. What is the Rahasya? What is the mystery behind this number 21? Why specifically 21? Why not 1 or 3 or 10? That is something which we will be exploring today. Our Bal Vikas children, they chant a very nice shloka on the Omkara. Omkaram bindu sanyuktam nityam dhyayanti yoginaha kamadam mokshadam chaiva Omkaraya namo namaha. That is Omkaram bindu sanyuktam. This itself is a statement filled with meaning. In the Ganapati Atharvashirsha Upanishad, Lord Ganapati is worshipped in the form of Omkara. Similarly, in the Narayana Upanishad, Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu is worshipped in the form of the Omkara. In the Shiva Sankalpa Upanishad of the Rig Veda, there is a verse, Yo vai veda mahadevam pranavam purushottamam Omkaram pranavatmanan tanme manas shiva sankalpamastu. Lord Shiva is worshipped in the form of Omkara. In fact, when we say Omkaram bindu sanyuktam, when the bindu is added to the Omkara is imagined in the form of Samba Parameshwara, that is the union of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. In fact, Mahakavi Kalidasa in his Raghuvamsham, in the introductory verse, he says this, Vagartha viva sampraktau vagartah pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. He says that Samba Parameshwara, that is Goddess Parvati and Lord Parameshwara, they are as inseparable as word and meaning. Just as when we say a particular word, automatically what flashes in our mind is the meaning of that word. Same way, Parvati and Parameshwara are inseparable from each other. And the Omkara embodies this combination of Shiva and Parvati. That is the union of Prakriti and Purusha, the cosmic energy, which is Shakti, and the cosmic consciousness, which is Shiva. Both these things are combined together in the Omkara. That is why Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam. It is a darshan of the Ardhanari Nateshwara form of Lord Shiva. And it is given to us by our Supreme Guru, by our Supreme Master, who is himself Shiva Shakti Swarupa. That is our Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. So, Shiva Shakti Swarupa has given us the Mula Mantra, which is also a form of Shiva and Shakti, which is the Omkara. So, Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityan Dhyayanti Yoginaha. The yogis are continuously contemplating and meditating on this Omkara. And they can reach to profound heights of meditation through this Omkara. That is the power of the Omkara. Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva. When we say Kamadam Mokshadam, what it means actually, Dharmadam Arthadam Kamadam Mokshadam. It is able to fulfill the four Purusharthas of the human life. Whenever a Manushya Janma, a human life is obtained after great ordeals, then four important stages are outlined. That is Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. The Omkara will enable us to achieve all of these. Dharma, right conduct. Artha, wealth acquired through this right conduct. And here wealth does not mean monetary or physical wealth. It means spiritual wealth. Spiritual wealth, spiritual well-being. And once that is attained, then Kama, intense desire to become one with the Lord. That is the Kama which is talked about in the four Purusharthas. And finally, Moksha, becoming one with the Lord and in the process, losing oneself, losing all traces of ego and becoming truly one with the Lord. So, through the Omkara, all these stages can be achieved and we can reach the ultimate goal of the spiritual path. Omkaraya Namo Namaha. This is the prayer. The salutations to the Omkara, which is the form of Samba Parameshwara. So, when Bhagavan says we have to chant 21 Omkaras, Bhagavan has given a very beautiful explanation for this. Bhagavan says that the first five Omkaras, they are for the five Karmendriyas, the organs of action. Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Pasthaha. That is Vak Shakti, the power of speech. Karma Shakti, the power to work and do work with our hands. Gamana Shakti, the power to move, power of locomotion. Shuddhikarana Shakti, the power to eliminate impurities from within us. And Nirmiti Shakti, the power of creation. These are the five powers which are granted to us by Bhagavan, the powers of action. The Lord, when Lord created the world, these five qualities are endowed to every living being. Bhagavan has said in this context, in a very simplified manner, watch your words. Vak Shakti, the first Karmendriya, watch your words. Next, Karma Shakti, the power of action. Bhagavan says, watch your actions. And third is Gamana Shakti. Bhagavan says, watch your thoughts. Which means that before we perform any action, one has to think, one has to be very careful. Bhagavan enumerates this very clearly in the Dharma Vahini. He says that for every action, first one has to look to the consequences, make sure that no one is being hurt in the process, and only then that action, that course of action should be followed. Then fourthly, Bhagavan says, watch your character. Fourth Karmendriya is said to be the post-digestive system which eliminates the impurities from the body. But this is only the physical meaning. Spiritual meaning is the power of discrimination which always enables us to distinguish right from wrong. That is what is intended here. And Bhagavan very succinctly puts it, watch your character. Character is built by making the correct choices in life, by always following the dictates of one's conscience, dictates of the inner voice from within. And that is what Bhagavan says, watch your character. Never take the easy path, always take the right path. Finally, Bhagavan says, watch your heart. The fifth karmendriya is the Nirmiti Shakti, the power of creation. This is not only the power of creation in the context of progeny, but in general creation as a process. And Bhagavan says, watch your heart, which means that always whenever we are creating something, a small fraction of our soul has to be imbibed into that. Our heart has to go into that. That is the way of true action. In fact, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, in the Anandavalli, there is a description of how the world was created. Asadva idamagra asit tato vai sadajayata tadatmanaggasvayama kuruta tasma tat sukrutamuchyata iti. The Upanishad says, in the beginning, none of this was there. Nothing was in existence. And then everything emerged. And how did it emerge? Tad atmanam swayama kuruta. The Lord himself created everything. You see, everything in nature is handcrafted by God. Nowadays, there is a trend that things have to be handcrafted means they are genuine. The whole universe is genuine. It is handcrafted by God. Tasma tat sukrutam uchyata iti. And because it is so painstakingly created by that great Vishwakarman, it is called sukrutam, well created, well made. See, whatever we try as human beings, all our efforts are very minuscule compared to this huge Brahmanda which the Lord has created. And over and above, the Upanishad says, Yadvai tat sukrutam raso vai saha. That even though this creation itself is so beautiful, so pure, pristine and absolutely glorious, the real essence why it attains so much beauty is because in tiny amounts God entered into each and everything. So whenever we are putting efforts, our whole heart has to go into that. This is the essence of the five karmendriyas, which Bhagavan has succinctly said using the English word watch, W-A-T-C-H, W for words, A for actions, T for thoughts, C for character, H for heart. This is exactly what is intended with the machinery, these five karmendriyas which are given to us, and Bhagavan has given us this explanation. And first five omkaras to energize these five karmendriyas in the correct direction, so that on the physical plane we know how to act correctly using each of the karmendriyas for the correct purpose, for the purpose of sadhana, for the purpose of seva. Now, Bhagavan says the next five omkaras, omkara number 6 to 10, these are intended for energizing in the similar manner the five jnanendriyas, the organs of sensation, the sense organs. What are they? Shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandhaha. Shabda, the power of hearing. Sparsha, the power of touch or sense of feeling, sense of touch. Rupa, the sense of sight, sense of observing the form. Rasa, the sense of taste. And Gandha, sense of smell. These are the five organs of sensation which are granted to us by Bhagavan. And being endowed with this, Bhagavan always used to say that the mind of man is like a chariot. And the sense organs, the five organs of sensation, these are like five horses. Now, if these horses are allowed to do of their own volition, then 5 horses are attracted in 5 different directions. As a result, at any one time, whichever horse is dominant, the chariot hurtles along in that direction, and overall it keeps going around in circles without progressing along the spiritual path, which is the intention. Therefore, how to control this chariot? In order to control the chariot, the 5 horses have to be controlled. So the mind will not be controlled unless the sense organs are controlled. And who better to control the sense organs than the Sanatana Sarathi, Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Baba. If we give our reins of these chariots into the hands of the Supreme Charioteer, we have to surrender. We have to realize these horses won't be controlled by us. The only one who can control these horses is the one who created them. And if we offer the reins of these horses to Bhagavan through the practice of sealing on desires, automatically Bhagavan comes and blesses. All the horses are now in control and the chariots start moving along the spiritual path. This is how we start our spiritual journey, by sacrificing the sense of doership in terms of the 5 sense organs, handing over the reins to Bhagavan. Now, Bhagavan says that once these 5 sense organs are in control, the next stage, the next 5 Omkaras, Omkara number 11 to 15, that is for the control of the 5 Pranavayus, Pancha Pranaha. Prano, Vyano, Pana, Udana, Samanaha. What are these 5 Pranavayus? In Hatha Yoga, in Ayurveda, these are described very clearly. Prana, the in-breath, that is nothing but our power of respiration, respiratory process. Apana, the post-digestive process of eliminating impurities from the body. Vyana, the Vyana word derives from Vyapaka. It is the circulatory system which runs through every vein of our body, nourishing each and every part of the body. Udana means uprising. It refers to the nervous system which is controlled through the brain, and all voluntary and involuntary actions are controlled to that. And Samana, Samana Vayu is the digestive system, pertains to the digestive system. So each of the 5 Pranavayus perform a very important function in the human body. And we all know what kind of troubles ensue when there is no harmony, no balance among them. We are no strangers to medical problems. Everyone in every household, these are there. And the reason for this is that the 5 Pranavayus are not in balance. And what is the way to bring them in balance? Pranayama. Bhagavan says that Omkara itself is sufficient because Omkara itself is a pranayama. How to chant Omkara correctly? Bhagavan has given a very beautiful example. You see, in Kali Yuga, it is well known that our powers of perception and our powers of comprehension are very diminished. And therefore, the Kali Yuga Avatara, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, he has given very, very simplified versions of these truths so that at least with the simplified versions we should try to implement in our lives. For the Omkara, Bhagavan says he gives a beautiful example. He says when you chant the Omkara, it should be like the flight of an aeroplane. Aeroplane comes from far away with a very dim sound. When it reaches at the center, the sound is very loud. And then as it recedes from you, again the sound becomes dim. The Omkara should also start like that, reach a crescendo and then diminish. You see, the Omkara consists of 3 syllables. Akara, Ukara and Makara. What are these Akara, Ukara and Makara? Akara, where we start with Aham. That is, we start with the what is called the small I, the Jivatma, the individual. Where does the individual go? From Akara to Ukara. What is Ukara? Uchchai Shikharaha. Bhagavan says it is Mount Kailasa. The Ukara is Mount Kailasa. That is why it has to be loud. Because you are going out up to Mount Kailasa, the abode of Lord Shiva. The Shiva Sankalpa Upanishad says, Kailasa Shikhare Ramye Shankarasya Shivalaye Devatas Tatra Modante Tanme Manas Shiva Sankalpamastu. Devataha Tatra Modante. Even the lords, even the gods, even the devas, whenever they wish to derive joy, they go and visit Mount Kailasa. That is the purity, that is the auspiciousness, that is the blessedness of Mount Kailasa, the abode of Samba Parameshwara. And Bhagavan has given us this journey 21 times every day in the morning. You go to Mount Kailasa, take the darshan of Lord Samba Parameshwara, and then you come back. Where do we come back? We come back to Makara. Makara stands for Mahadeva. That means that the Jivatma, the Aham, transcends to Mount Kailasa, and in the end he goes and merges into Mahadeva. The Jivatma merges with the Paramatma. That is the essence of the Omkara. And such a beautiful thing. You go, reach the peak, and by the time you end up, you are already arrived at your destination. So Bhagavan gives this example of aeroplane, how the aeroplane flies. The Akara should start with a very low sound. The Ukara should reach a maximum, and then again it should fade away into the distance as you reach the Makara. That is the correct way of chanting Omkara. This is automatically a pranayama exercise also. And this pranayama brings harmony into the Pancha Pranavayus in our body. These Pancha Pranavayus are not only related to the physical body, but they are related to the spiritual aspect as well. And the spiritual aspect of our being gets a sense of harmony brought into it by the chanting of the Omkara. This is the motivation or the reason for the third set of 5 Omkaras from 11 to 15 to bring a harmony among the Pancha Pranavayus. Then Bhagavan says, next five Omkaras are for the Pancha Koshas. What are the Pancha Koshas? Annamaya Pranamayo Manomayo Vijnanamaya Anandamaya. Annamaya Kosha, the physical body. Pranamaya Kosha, when you look a little further, the Pranavayus, the life breaths, the life processes which are happening, which are inside that human body. Manomaya. If you transcend beyond that, you reach the state of the human mind, the chariot which we were talking about earlier, human mind with all its doubts, etc. Bhagavan says that the mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. And if these thoughts are pure, then the mind automatically becomes pure. That is why one has to have pure thoughts. This is the Manomaya Kosha. Then comes beyond the Manomayam a state of pure awareness, which is called the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And once one transcends this, a state of pure joy, called the Anandamaya Kosha. Bhagavan says that this is the 20th Omkara pertaining to the Anandamaya Kosha. 21st Omkara is to represent the merger of this Jivatman who has transcended through the Anandamaya, his or her merger with Ishvara. That is the 21st Omkara, the final merger. So this whole set of 21 Omkaras, what Bhagavan says, is a representation of our own spiritual journey. Brothers and sisters, the spiritual journey has to take these stages. You see, when one talks about the Annamaya Kosha, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, in the Bhruguvalli, 3 commandments are given pertaining to Annam. Annannindyat, Annanna Parichakshita, annam bahu kurvita, which means annam na nindyat, do not criticize food. Annam na parichakshita, never waste food. Annam bahu kurvita, produce plenty of food. Now, if we just keep aside the word annam for the time being, na nindyat, na parichakshita, bahu kurvita, that is the real commandment. That is, never criticize. Second one, never waste. Third one, always produce in plenty. What does this mean? Never criticize means have control over yourself. This is a representation of control over the five jnanendriyas. Na parichakshita, never waste. Bhagavan says haste makes waste always. When you are in a hurry, that is when waste occurs. And when are you in a hurry? Bhagavan says that when you don't have time, when you say I don't have time, what you are actually lacking is mental space. You do not have the mental capacity to organize yourself. So lack of time is an excuse. What we lack is actually mental space. That is what Bhagavan says. So, na parichakshita, do not waste means do not be in a haste, which means that create the mental space, peace of mind, and that will help you along the spiritual journey. Bahu kurvita, produce in plenty, which means that always produce more than you need so that you can always flow over and give to others. Always have a giving nature, never a taking nature. Bhagavan says love is giving and forgiving, and self is getting and forgetting. So these three commandments pertaining to the Annamaya Kosha are not restricted to Annamayam. It is valid at each and every stage of the journey. The Annamaya Kosha means the physical body. What is how to regulate the physical body? Very simple. The physical body is for Shrama. It is for Shramadana. It is for Seva. The five karmendriyas have to be put into correct motion. And therefore, to transcend the Annamaya Kosha is actually, the meaning is that we bring the five karmendriyas within control. Similarly, when we talk about the Pranamaya Kosha means the harmony between the five pranavayus, so that all the five pranas are in harmony with each other. Then the physical or the physiological problems are not there, and then the Jivatma can focus on higher things, higher ideals. And how to bring the balance among the pranavayus? Again, through the Omkaras. Next is the Manomaya Kosha. We have already discussed that the Manomayam, to transcend the Manomayam means to bring the five Jnanendriyas within control, so that all the five horses are pulling the chariot in the same direction. Once we have transcended the Manomaya Kosha, that means we have reached up to 18 Omkars in that 21 Omkars. Last 3 Omkaras are something which only can be experienced, which cannot be described. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na bibheti kadachaneti. That which cannot be reached through speech or through thought. Once a Jivan, once a Jivatma, once a Sadhaka has reached that state of Ananda, then no fear remains. That is the statement in the Upanishad. You see, beyond the Manomayam is the Vijnanamayam. What is Vijnanamayam? Vijnana. Common translation of the word Vijnana nowadays, they say science. Our ancients had a much broader vision. Vijnana means awareness. Being aware of oneself, of one's surroundings. What is this awareness we are talking about? In the Sri Rudram, How do we start Sri Rudram? Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Namaste Rudramanyave. We are fearing the Lord, and through that fear we request Him, please forgive all our transgressions so that we may move forward on the spiritual path. And this fear, after this, there is the Trishakti, that is 300 names of Lord Shiva, and propitiating Him in different names, different forms, gradually the soul attains purity. Till finally when we reach the 11th Anuvaka of Sri Rudram, Sahasrani Sahasrasho ye Rudra Adhibhumyam Teshagam Sahasrayo Jane Vadhanvani Tanmasi. Very, very, very profound experience is stated in this verse. Sahasrani Sahasrashaha. What does it mean? Thousands of Rudra. Only Rudra, Rudra, Shiva, 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 everywhere. Thousands of Shiva, 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 only Shiva I can see everywhere. Tesham Sahasra Yojane Avadhanvani Tanmasi. Thousands of miles in all directions, I see only Shiva, 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 Shiva. Only auspiciousness, only blessedness, only bliss. This is the experience, brothers and sisters. By the time we reach the 11th Anuvaka in chanting, if we also reach there spiritually, what else is there in life? Sant Tukaram, in one of his abhangs, the great saint of Maharashtra, Sant Tukaram, in one of his abhangs, he says, Ata kuthe dhave mana tujhe charan dekh liya. Where is my mind going to wander now? Now that I have seen your feet, I will pursue only your feet and I will come and merge with them. Bhaga gela, kshina ghela, avagha zhala ananda. All my tiredness, all my fears, everything has left me and I am left only with joy. That is the state the 11th Anuvaka of Sri Rudram takes you. That is where the Omkara takes you when you transcend the Vijnanamaya. Everywhere only Shiva, 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 Shiva. Asmin Mahatyar Nave Antarikshe. Asmin Mahati, in this land. Arnave, in the ocean. Antarikshe, in the atmosphere. Everywhere there is only Lord Shiva. What an experience, brothers and sisters. If we can experience this every time we chant the 21 Omkaras, if we can experience this every time we chant the Sri Rudram, if we can keep on reveling in this experience, if that simple, small flame which is there at the center of our heart, if it can talk to all other flames present in each and every iota of God's creation, what else do we want in life? In the Narayana Suktam, it is indicated where is the position of this flame in the human body. Adho nishtya vitastyante nabhyam uparitisthati. A handspan below the throat and another handspan above the navel. That is the location of the Parabrahma within the body of the human being. Tasyante sushiragam sukshman tasmin sarvam pratishthitam. Sushiram sukshmam. There is a very tiny space at the center of the hollow of the heart. But tasmin sarvam pratishthitam. Everything, the whole universe is located there. If we can reach this stage, that is the intention of the 21 Omkara sadhana. 19th Omkara, transcending the Vijnanamaya. When we are saying around me everywhere only Shiva is present, there is still one small difficulty. What is that? We are saying this is me and this is Shiva. Still that duality is still there. Transcending this duality, forgetting oneself and merging with this, that is transcending the Vijnanamaya and entering into the Anandamaya Kosha. In the Anandamaya there is only bliss, pure joy of existence. And no worries, nothing nothing. Just you are happy, you are in complete joy because the Lord is there. Lord is giving you darshan. You are continuously looking at His face for as long as you want. What else you need? And transcending the Anandamaya, finally, one goes and merges with the Lord and Master. Bhagavan has given us this beautiful sequence, this beautiful method of transcending all the different stages and of reaching up to Him. The same Omkara, which is the Shiva Shakti Swarupa, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Baba, he has given us this mantra so that when we leave from the Jivatma, the small I, pass through the Uchchair Shikhara, that is the Mount Kailasa, the abode of Lord Samba Parameshwara, and finally merge with Mahadeva, that is the small I travels and meets the capital I. The Jivatman merges with the Paramatman. This is the significance of the Omkara which Bhagavan has given us. And let it be our prayer that we shall all, to the utmost of our ability, follow this chanting of Omkara, chanting of Suprabhatam, chanting of the Ashtotara Namavali, Jyoti meditation. Every act which we perform, every act of seva, of individual sadhana, of community, collective sadhana, every time we are chanting the Sri Rudram, the Purusha Suktam, the Upanishads, at every stage, let this thought be at the center. Bhagavan, bless me so that I may transcend all these different layers, so that I may gain control over my actions, so that I may gain control over my senses, so that I may have complete harmony among the life forces, and may I gradually take one step at a time and be ultimately able to reach you. The prayer is very simple, that may Bhagavan always bless us with the correct knowledge, sadvidya, that this is the direction to go. After that, we must have the courage to move in that direction. This is the prayer. This is beautifully captured at the end of the Chamaka Prashna in the Shanti Mantra which is there. So let us conclude with that prayer. Idadevahurmanurjajnyanir brahaspatirukthamadhanishagam sishadvishve deva suktavacha prathivimatarmamahigam sir madhumanishye madhujanishye madhuvakshyami madhuvadishyami madhumatin devebhyo vachamudyasagam shushtrushenyam manushyebhyastam madeva avantu shobhayai pitaro numadantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram. Loving pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Lord Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Varu. It is indeed a great blessing and a unique privilege for me to profusely thank Sri Siddharth Kasthurirangan for his resounding and ringing exposition on the topic Omkara Mantra. as the Mula Mantra given to us by our dear Lord, to start our day with love, to fill it with love, and end the day with love. On behalf of Sri Sathya Samyukta Shruti Shreni of Sri Sathya Seva Organization India, and on behalf of all the participants, I thank Sri Siddharth for his very valuable time and for generously sharing his learnings and knowledge gained by his tapas at the lotus feet of our dear Lord Sai. Please allow me to recall few of the lessons from his powerful exposition on some of the aspects of Omkara. Sir, you have started on the powerful note of Omkara Prashamsa from Sikshavali of Taittiriya Upanishad to emphasize an expression that the formless existence of God is Omkara. A sadhaka who practices Omkara sadhana will attain moksha. Here you stated that any Omkara sadhanopasaka is indeed a Brahmin. To make this spiritual path authentic, you cited Purusha Suktam, Nanyah Pantha Vidyate Yanaya. This spiritual path is a path to reach the divine. Next, you focused on the Omkara Mula Mantra, chanting Omkara 21 times, the mantra that was given by Bhagavan to the humanity. To bring home the significance of Omkara, you took us to the primary level, the Bal Vikas Stotra, Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam and so on, to emphasize that the mantra is verily Sambha Parameshwara, Ardhanarishwara, as told by Kavi Samrat Sri Kalidasa in his Mahavakya Raghuvamsha. Just as word and its meaning, Shabda and its meaning are inseparable, so is the oneness of Parvati Parameshwara. You mentioned that Omkara sadhana helps in Purushartha Marga for moksha, Dharmartha Kama Moksha. Then you elaborated on the inner significance of chanting 21 Omkaras. The first 5 Omkaras are meant for purifying and energizing the 5 organs of action, Karmendriya, Vak Shakti, power of speech, Karma Shakti, power of work, Gamana Shakti, the power of legs, Shuddhi Karana Shakti, the power to eliminate impurities, Nirmita Shakti, the power to create. You very aptly correlated this message to the mantra given to us by Bhagavan through the word watch. Watch your words, watch your actions, watch your thoughts, watch your character, and watch your heart. The next 5 Omkaras are meant for purifying and energizing the 5 Gnanendriyas, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, the power of hearing, touch, vision, taste, and smell. Here you aptly connected us with the message from Bhagavan on mind equated to chariot, 5 senses being equated to the 5 horses, and when the control of the horses or the senses are given to the charioteer, Sanatana Sarathi divine, then everything will be safe. You also reminded us on the controlling mechanism of these 5 horses as told to us by Bhagavan, as the path laid down to us by Bhagavan, as sealing on desires. The next 5 Omkaras are for purifying and harmonizing the Pancha Pranas, that is Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, and Samana, the respiratory process, the post-digestive elimination process, the circulatory system, the nervous system, and the digestive system. Here, you reminded us on Bhagwan's message that Omkara is verily the pranayama which brings the balance and harmony into 5 pranas. Also, you took us to the practical lesson given to us by Bhagavan on the way of chanting Omkara by relating it to the arrival and departure of sound waves from an aeroplane moving past an observer in a place. The 3 syllables of Omkara, Akara, Ukara, Makara. Akara starts with low sound. Ukara is at maximum sound, and Makara is equated to the fading sound. You also called chanting Omkara is like traveling to Mount Kailasha to merge with Parameshwara. The next 5 Omkaras are for purifying and energizing the Pancha Koshas. Annamaya Kosha, the physical body. Pranamaya Kosha, the life breath. The Manomaya Kosha, the state of human mind. Vijnanamaya Kosha, state of pure awareness. And Anandamaya Kosha, the blissful state. The 21st Omkara helps one to transcend this blissful state to merge with the divine. Thus, you very neatly recall the significance of this Mula Mantra of chanting Omkara 21 times as given to us by Bhagavan. Having given the Omkara sadhana path for spiritual journey, he reminded us on the important cautions, thoughts, and ways as mentioned in Vedas, Upanishads, scriptures, and Shastras. Here, you firstly reminded us on the 3 commandments given in Bhruguvali of Taittiriya Upanishad. Annam na nindyat, never criticize food. Annam na parishakshita, never waste food. Annam bahukurvita, always produce in plenty. Then you mentioned service or seva sadhana will put 5 karmendriyas into right use and help us to transcend Annamaya Kosha. Then you mentioned that the harmony in the 5 pranas are Pranamaya Kosha attention will solve all physiological problems that we as humans go through. The Manomaya Kosha, the five Jnanendriyas, will make a sadhaka fearless and pure in the true and divine spirit. Then the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the awareness helps in realizing and seeing the real meaning of omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscient nature of the divine. Next, to drive home the importance of bliss, which we get by chanting Omkara 21 times, you have very aptly related it with the message from Sant Tukaram in his Abhang on the blissful state of mind in seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the same state to which one will reach by chanting Sri Rudram in all devotion. You have also recalled Narayana Suktam to emphasize that our body is verily the temple of Lord Narayana, Deho Devalayaha, into whom we merge through the Omkara sadhana. You ended on a note highlighting the importance of the daily sadhana path given to us by Bhagavan, starting with Omkara, Suprabhatam, Ashtotra Shatanamavali, Jyoti meditation, individual sadhana, Seva, collective sadhana, chanting of Sri Rudram, etc. And with a mantra from Chamakam that captured all that you have shared with us. Thank you once again, Sri Kasthurirangan, for very generously sharing all your learnings through your penance and sadhana at the lotus feet. We once again profusely thank you on behalf of all the sadhakas of this divine satsang. And we all pray to Bhagavan to shower his love, grace, and blessings on you and your family, to be in his fold forever, and to ably serve him as you're doing now. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Sathya Sai Hare Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Pati Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Shashi Vadana Shrikara Sarva Pranapati Swami Sarva Pranapati Ashrita Kalpalatika Ashrita Kalpalatika Abhatandhava Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Guru Daivamu Mariyantayu Nive Swami Mariyantayu Nive Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nagena Shayana Om Jai Jagadish Hare Omkara Rupa Ojasvi Ho Sai Mahadeva Sathya Sai Mahadeva Mangala Arati Anduko Mangala Arati Anduko Mandala Giridhari Om नारायण नारायण ॐ जय सद्गुरुदेवा शान्ति 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 समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई